All right, it is episode 4 of Uno Taco, and I did miss an episode last week, and I hope you'll forgive me, and I will briefly explain. Welcome back to Uno Taco. Today it's a One Take Tuesday, and I get to share this very special episode. Of course, I do feel like every episode is special and unique in some way because, and it's not even been that I've had to manufacture it. It's just that life is so interesting at this point. I mean, partly just because it's 2020, partly just because in starting this, we've just so happened to overlap many world events or big life events, which I get to talk about here for a second. But first of all, the most important part of this entire montage or episode series at all is, of course, the taco. So, having previously recorded this, I'm going to show you a clip here, and this is Frida's here in downtown Thomasville, Georgia. And Frida's is right on Broad Street. They've got a great selection. They've got some great Mexican cuisine. You can go in there. You can grab a lot of different stuff. They've got some great lunch specials. And as you can see, I did get the tacos. And these tacos come kind of serve yourself in a way, build your own taco. And I will say, while it's not the number one on my list, the flavor of the meat and putting everything together is awesome. And I actually ended up with so much. It doesn't look like as much when they bring it out. But after filling my 3 soft shells, I actually had enough to make kind of a dip, with the bean dip and the meat and everything and the vegetables. I actually kind of mixed that up and just took chips and just made this awesome chip dip as I was finishing the lunch with a friend there. So I went to Frida's for this week's episode, which actually I thought would be last week. But you see, last week, something important was happening, something big. So at 3:31 a.m., my third child, my first son, was born. And so that brings up sort of a celebration, a little like, woohoo! I don't know, maybe I can get like some editing thing in here, even though I want this to be a one take, but yay! I am excited, and it's been awesome, and he's awesome. He's healthy. My wife is healthy, but that actually kind of brings me to the point of this week's Uno Taco, which is gratitude, and specifically, obviously, with Thanksgiving coming up in a couple days, I'm thinking about just being grateful for life and understanding and appreciating how fragile it is and how much we take it for granted, especially the ones we love, whether they're family by blood or they're family by experience or that friendship and time spent together, whatever it may be. I hope that you will hold the ones you love tight, because this past week, obviously, with everything going on, it's been a blur. But as I've reflected and as I've thought about exactly 1 week ago, so it was Tuesday morning that my son was born. And through that experience, I mean, things were going as planned, and things all of a sudden changed. My wife's labor progressed very quickly, and she ended up just having to have an emergency C-section. And not to go into the details, but just to say that it was very scary for me to go through that, sleep deprived and everything. And essentially what happened is the C-section happened and it went well. And my son was out about, loving the world, a few minutes old. I'm holding him in my arms, and my wife was still there on the operating table. And again, not to kind of drown the details, but it was complicated and complex, and that made me only appreciate her more. The time I've had with her, as I'm dealing with all these emotions that night of holding my son, but not knowing if my wife is okay, not knowing if I'm going to be able to share this amazing joy with my wife ever. It's just a lot of dark moments and dark thoughts in that time of just what this would be like, and what's happening, and just the unknown, and that fear just takes over, and that happened. But thankfully everyone is fine, and my wife is great, and it just reminded me, it made me extra thankful for her. I mean, she is strong, she is beautiful, she's amazing, and that only reinforces it more. My son is healthy. I'm just thankful for my kids, thankful for the loved ones who've reached out, who've shown us support, who've just given us meals and just loved on us, just really shown themselves as a community around us, extra thankful for that this Thanksgiving season. So what are you grateful for Thanksgiving? However you celebrate it, Friendsgiving, whatever it may be, just to take a second, even if you're not in America and you're celebrating in some way, or you're not celebrating our holiday here, our tradition, are you grateful for something? I hope so. And if so, do you mind sharing what you're grateful for? It would be good exercise, and I know it comes every year, but this year especially for me is a special one, because obviously we've welcomed our third child, and as a millennial dad, this is a big deal. So content. Just kidding, it's not about the content, but there definitely will be content, and you're going to get to see a few cute clips of my son here in just a second. So, well, now you're just going to skip ahead. So I'll go ahead and end it here. Hope you've enjoyed the view of the tacos. Shout out, thank you to Frida's for the tacos. And thank you to you for hanging out and hearing this story and considering gratefulness. And look forward to seeing you in the next one. How are you feeling about that? You feeling good? Oh, good.
Bless you.
Sneeze.